Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today, I'm going to be talking about Sundial Cannabis, going with the ticker SNDL. I covered this one multiple times before. My last video is in the description below. Nonetheless, today I hope I'm going to bring new information more of as an add-on and give you an update from anything relating towards the latest news, SEC filings, and as well technical analysis. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Sundial Cannabis. If this is the first time you ever hear about this one, the next 20 seconds is for you. So they have a brand portfolio, they work in cannabis industry, they have Grasslands, Palmetto, Sundial, PC Weed Co, and Top Leaf. And each of them have different things like buds, vapes, concentrates, pre-rolls, etc. And they have different prices. Now the reason that is that they are trying to capture a different market with each of these products. For instance, you have discount, value, core, and premium, and that is for both dried flower and vape. It's a smart idea to capture more of the market share without compromising their entire brand. Now the other thing here, and in case this is the first time as well you're hearing about it, is that Sundial has a lot of money through offerings that they did raise. And a part of this one here is that they go ahead and they buy out different companies, and they have done that before. So if you were to go back to my videos, you'll see a bit more of their acquisitions. And one of their latest acquisitions is this company called Inner Spirit, which is here giving an overview on it. You're looking at that this company has historically been profitable from Q1, for instance, all the way to Q4 2020. You're seeing all positive historical revenue and EBITDA margins. Now, Sundial itself might have not always been profitable, but in Q1 2021, we see some things that already changed based on the latest strategy from Sundial. For the first time here, earnings from operations is actually positive at $1.7 million versus loss from operations of $32.7 million in Q4 2020. Now they achieved the first quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA in Sundial's history at $3.3 million versus a loss of $5.6 million in the last quarter. Now, $873.5 million is registered there as unrestricted cash with zero debt. Now they also invested $96 million in cannabis relating portfolio. Now for some that might be a little bit off repetitive news. Now keep in mind as well for the Sunstream Bancorp kind of part of the presentation and the amount of money that they are also working with, whether it's in the United States, Canada, and internationally as a joint venture with alternative investments managements in the cannabis industry. Now, there's other things to cover right now. For instance, institutional buyers are incredibly bullish, especially in the last week or so. We're looking at Citadel Advisors. They added around 3.4 million shares, Ferocious Capital 5.6, Jane Street Group increased their position by 9 times. It's a 906% increase, with the total current shares being around 8.2 million. Now, other things, for instance, like Morgan Stanley increased their position by 6,149.7%. And so this is definitely bringing a lot of buzz and improving the sentiment of Sundial in general. Now, there's other things, for instance, like the price over book. The price over book here is 139. The price over sales is often more off 12 months trailing, so it doesn't really adjust as good as the price over book, but the price over book off the SP 500 is currently at 454. So you see, if they continue to go on with this path, I do see that the price over sales will definitely improve quite a lot, and this would bring a better price action based on their fundamental valuations. Now, the EPS of next year, they're looking at a positive 100% itself, and institutional buyers have been massively increased in terms of activity to 275%. Now, the next thing I do want to cover here is some of the latest news relating to this one from just a general sentiment regarding Sundial and Mark Schumer, etc. But before doing so, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to drop down below, click that like button, The subscribe is on the bottom right corner. Subscribe and turn notifications on. It helps my channel a lot. If you'd like to join our Discord, click show more and join it right there. So for the news here, key US House lawmaker introduces federal marijuana legalization bill. And ever since they actually put the bill known as the MORE Act, amidst hope of a newly elected Democratic president and Congress will result this legalization passage. During the previous Congress, the House passed a similar version of the bill, but the measures went nowhere in the Republican-controlled Senate. The MORE Act, formerly known as the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestments and Expungement Act, would legalize marijuana federally by removing the plant from the Federal Controlled Substances Act. Since I introduced the MORE Act last Congress, numerous states across the nation, including my home state of New York, have moved to legalize marijuana. Our federal lawmakers must keep this pace up, said the New York Democrat in a statement. Now, also, if approved by the House and the Senate and signed by the President, which is far from a sure bet, the bill will generate huge opportunities for plant touching and ancillary businesses across the country. Now, this here, the bill itself had 228 votes to 164 votes early in December, and it did pass in the House. More on that exactly relating who voted what or the kind of the split of the votes, you'll find that in my previous video. Now, it is clear by overwhelming extent to which they passed the MORE Act last session that in the House, or the House at least, they understand the urgent racial and social injustice in this issue. Our communities that have been born and burned by the marijuana prohibition have waited long enough for justice. And they urge the House leadership to move swiftly to bring the bill back to the floor session so that we continue the momentum and move marijuana justice bill to the Senate as well. Now, I did go to where the bill is currently, and we also talked about the Republican-backed bill of marijuana. And, you know, the thing goes on, it is almost a matter of when, not if, the US will legalize marijuana. Now, of course, there is some states where they do have recreational policies kind of putting in play for legalizations, and some are medical as well in different states. For instance, Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania are all going on for recreational one, although Minnesota was unsuccessful. Now the medical one, you do have some of the states as well, such as South Carolina, Nebraska, and Kansas, which all were unsuccessful, although North Carolina is more on the maybe level, and Alabama is legalized on medical part. And so the question comes in here again is when, not if. And the reason why it's important for Sundial is they have a lot of money going on towards investments and acquisitions, and it's always a matter on when they're going to buy, or what are they going to buy relating towards the cannabis industry in the United States and expanding towards there. Now, the market field is not as well established as in Canada, for instance, but Sundial definitely has a really great advantage in that playing field. So let's move on towards technical analysis now. Now, on the Sundial technical analysis part of view, on the one-day perspective, things are definitely looking very interesting towards this one, for multiple key parts, and keep a look at that. For the first time in a while, we actually cracked the $1 level. And another part is that the MACD shows a really strong momentum to this move. Now, the ADX isn't showing you much, but it's definitely something that is very interesting when it comes towards the MACD. The William %R shows that this one is still a little bit overbought, but it's been showing that since almost mid-May. That momentum is around 0.27, and the price point is above all the moving averages. So it's bullish on every point on the moving averages. Now, stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are showing in terms of momentum that there is a very strong possibility that this one has another leg up. And when we look into the Bollinger Bands, take a look into this one here. It is almost the first time in a while where it records a kind of price point where it closed above the Bollinger Band. And this is massive, because if it does continue to push through, it is actually going to change the entire direction of the Bollinger Bands. The moving averages start curving upwards, and you then have an uptrend instead of a sloppy or sideways or downtrend. Now, if you were to go towards Fibonacci retracements, just to see where some of these key points are, let's start going on from 396 on the top all the way down to around 0.138 or around 0.134. Now, the current Fibonacci retracement significant level of resistance is at 103, which we touched today. Now, above there, 159, 204, 249, 314, and 396. The only current support, which is a little bit further down, is around 0.138 on the Fibonacci retracements. I'm not talking about general supports. Now, this is a key thing because the 103 or the 104 become a very significant level at where this one is going to trade if it does continue to attempt to break in it and if it does actually break it. Now, in the current support level, there is a very strong support currently stating at the 92 cents. Below there, you're looking at 83 cents. Below there, 72 cents. Below there, 76 cents. Going downwards to 60 cents, and then downwards to 46 cents, and then from there on 36 cents and 24 cents. Significant resistances, and this is currently kind of being tested on and off, is 98 cents. Above there, you're looking at 111. Above there, 133, and then from there on, you're looking at a little bit higher at 163, and then from there on, you're looking a little bit further on to around $2, and there goes on to 222, etc. It comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? In the shorter term, it's actually testing resistances, and it can really push forward. So volatility in shorter term, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing back around $50 levels. And that is crucial because with momentum, with everything that is going on, at least in the cannabis market, this one has insane amount of capital thanks to a lot of the retail investors. And I think that this one in the future, within the next 5 years, will continue to be profitable and the price over sales will impress a lot of people. Keep in mind, there's a reason why institutions are picking up. There's a reason why Morgan Stanley picked up a bunch. There's a reason why Citadel Advisors picked up some, is that they see what I'm talking about here, relating towards the amount of capital they have, the amount of cash, the investments bankers they're currently agreeing with, or investing managements they're agreeing with towards the cannabis funds, the interest in the United States market, their first ever positive cash flow last quarter 1 2021. And so all these pieces of the puzzle are perfectly there. Comes to the question, will management execute properly? And I have a bit of hope that they're able to do so, and it's definitely going to be an interesting play there. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.